Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Master salesmen tend to be select. This podcast is sponsored by X-Wolf Testosterone Builder. Gentlemen, are you struggling in the body, sex, or mental game? Need to keep pace with multiple women? There is an answer for you. X Labs presents a proven line of products to help in those areas. Our X-Wolf Testosterone Booster aids in intense workouts in the gym and in the bedroom. Increased blood flow and a heightened libido are just a few of the many benefits. X-Wolf contains all natural ingredients that have been used in Eastern medicine for centuries. All products come with a 30-day free trial and free standard shipping. Click the link below in the description box to find out more. Quantities are limited. Make a select choice, unleash your inner wolf, and lead the pack today. Yeah, master salesmen, they tend to tear up some stuff. Now, that's not only related to the money thing, but just a general principle on interacting with people. Now, I know a lot of people, they hear some stuff from me and they want to try to detract from it or think I'm just talking out my ass. Bullshit. Look, I'm going to refer to someone else who, let's just say, is way more well-known than Rom is and has influenced millions of people in world history with his works. That's Napoleon Hill. Now, I'm going to read something from Napoleon Hill's classic book, Think and Grow Rich. And this is from the chapter on sex transmutation. Now, people who follow me closely know I got material. I got paid videos, and I've done webinars on sex transmutation. I mean, that's a secret on why Ron makes money. Sex transmutation. I had to tell a woman this too. I had to tell a woman this because she wanted to know why Rom just be out there sometime. I say I be transmuting that energy. But let me read something from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and it definitely from the chapter The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. And you're going to see how that connects to the idea that master salesmen tend to be select, and that's most. There's always an exception, but the general rule is if you got a man, especially who is a really good salesman, boom, he's gonna make money. Like I already told you, I've done gym sales. Now I remember at this particular company I worked at, the top salesman had a ton of sexual energy. In fact, when I was at this one gym, went to a sales meeting. And most of the salesmen were brothers, muscular brothers. I want y'all to think on that. I want you in the top one. This dude got his own business now, but that dude, I heard women saying they got a membership at his gym. Women were saying they got a membership on his gym just going his energy. So anyway, this is from the Mystery of Sex Transmutation chapter in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. He said, a teacher who has trained and directed the efforts of more than 30,000 salespeople made the astounding discovery that highly sexed men are the most efficient salesmen. The explanation is that the factor of personality known as personal magnetism is nothing more nor less than sex energy. Highly sexed people always have a plentiful supply of magnetism. Through cultivation and understanding, this vital force may be drawn upon and used to great advantage in the relationships between people. This energy is communicated to others through the following media. The handshake, the touch of the hand, indicates instantly the presence of magnetism or the lack of it. The tone of voice, magnetism or sex energy, is the factor which the voice may be colored or made musical and charming. Posture and carriage of body. Highly sexed people move briskly and with grace and ease. The vibrations of thought. Highly sexed people mix the emotion of sex with their thoughts or may do so at will, and in that way influence those around them. Body adornment. People who are highly sexed are usually very careful about their personal appearance. They usually select clothing of a style becoming to their personality, physique, complexion, etc. When employing salesmen, the more capable sales manager looks for the quality of personal magnetism as the first requirement of a salesman. People who lack sex energy will never become enthusiastic nor inspire others with enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is one of the most important requisites in salesmanship, no matter what one is selling. And he went further. He went further. Just go get that. Get that book. And I've recommended it. You can go to my website. I have a page for like the books I always recommend. You can go through there and it takes you right to Amazon. And Rom gets a cut from it. So, But a master salesman tends to have that sexual energy. In fact, I had mentioned before this dude I know. His sales salary, last time I talked to him, it's probably higher now, was a minimum $100,000. Because he was doing high-end medical sales, high-end medical equipment and stuff. So then that was his, and before that he had been selling like high-end cars and stuff like that. I've known quite a few like car salesmen. Shoot, they be tearing up some stuff. Or, they could be in like some high-end stores. But the key to it is they got that sexual energy. Now remember, just to be clear, the whole select, non-select, as I define it, is about the sexual hierarchy. In fact, when you look at relationships, whether you can use those terms, you can use alpha, beta, 80-20, it does come down to who women want to have sex with and who they don't. And a key part of that is their sexual energy. Master salesmen have what they've done is just taking that energy and still, transmuted it into something to make money from, to make a connection from, to make sales from, right? But let's just be clear. If they dealing with women, they still doing the same thing. But what they doing is just selling themselves. And any master salesman listening, big part of the sales is one, drawing them in. Once you draw them in, shoot, that's half of it right there. Then making that connection. Now, like I said, I've done sales in gyms. I've actually worked in retail. When I was selling my book, Nice Guys and Players, any of my books. I actually have 9 books. If I decide to do vending, and I haven't done vending, I might get back into it, but a lot of that was just on the energy, sexual energy. I remember like when I first did vending back in, first time, it was in 1995. It was in 1995. I was at an expo. I just put my books out. It was a couple books that's no longer on the market. I might reprint them at some point. But most of my sales came from some women, just how I was interacting with them. They were just buying it. They were up in my face. It was like, boom. Like anytime I've done sales at events that were mostly women or venues that were mostly women, boom. Money, 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 money. But it was just taking that energy and, transmuting it. Now that was just to get the money. Now when you dealing with a woman, that's still sales. It's just on a different thing. And like I said, big part of sales is one, you present something. Like if somebody selling a product, right? Say they selling high-end cars, like Mercedes or something. Someone gonna come in, they already inclined to buy it. But a lot of that's just the appearance, how it look and everything. And then you just closing the sale. And that's what the salesman do, just like the salesman can close that sale to get that person to buy a Mercedes, maybe to get them to buy a house, get them to buy certain articles of clothing. You transmute that to the sexual world. All you doing is closing that sale. The woman checking you out. All right, so she already inclined. Then you interacting with her in such a way that you can close it. Now, I know a lot of people might not be able to deal with that, but then how many real salesmen we got? And like I said, I love to hear from the salesmen on this. Professional salesmen, they know what's up. And that's one thing I noticed, even on here, when some people say they work in some type of sales industry or something, they don't be complaining about women. Now, I'm quite sure there's some exceptions. They might be a master salesman not doing well with the women department, but honestly, virtually every single dude I've known, virtually every single one I've known has been just good at not closing that sale, closing the deal. Because you start understanding, and one thing, when you're dealing in sales, you're dealing with different types of personalities and everything. You know, you're dealing with different personalities, so you know how to you know how to adjust. You know how to go back and forth. It's communication, because that's another thing too. A good salesman gotta have communicate those convo skills. In fact, I would argue if somebody really, really want to pick up the game, really want to get good with women, get a sales job, even if it's part time. In fact, I've said that before in a video or podcast when I first came on here. I can't remember the exact video, but I said, shoot, that's great training. That is great training. In fact, let me shout out Master Teacher BGS. He actually said if a dude want to get in, really learn, like get a telemarketing job or something like that, because then you learn rejection. See, that's another thing too. You learn how to deal with rejection and move on. So you get the master. When I'm saying master salesman, like they can go any place and they gonna make their money. And shoot, I mean, like I said, I've worked in too many sales professions. It's shoot, that's really what I'm doing now. And I don't even do it directly, but it's sales. That salesman can do it. So they tend to be select. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Peace and many blessings.